Hey there, going to be doing some LSTB commentary. This team being a little bit older news now, I've shown it a couple times, but just getting the point across. This is how I like to run Ray. Specifically, this is how I like to run Ray, because for starters, Chupio isn't fully farmable yet, so he's not available to me. Rebels in Lightside Territory Battle, at least from my roster perspective, aren't really competitively viable yet, and at the same time, I like to hold Resistance Hero Finn for this team. This just helps improve JTR's consistency a lot in their Lightside battle. Generally, if you haven't seen the Decoding Poe video, this whole triangle right here between these three characters is a power triangle, with Chewbacca going absolutely insane once Rey can pass Inspired to him. And then kind of building the rest of the team around that, Han is just going to express that power is going to cause Chewie to assist more often, so I toss him in for good measure. And Vandor is one of the more recent drafts. But specifically, giving Lifeblood to Vandor will essentially push back the expected turn where Chewbacca is going to get inspired by 1. But we have the damage reduction while he's buffed, and of course Lifeblood is a permanent buff. The potential protection regen, a whole lot of just good tools. There are some characters, we're not necessarily doing this for the revive. Typically, you're just going to have someone go into Rey's locked state where they can't die, and usually that's as long as you'll need until the fight starts going in your favor. But I just found him to be a good draft. In the later waves, I used to run L337, but when you're facing double B2, this taunt is not going to last long at all. So really just, I found Vandor to feel like the safest draft. It really just helps a lot. And yeah, so let's just jump on in then. For modding, I don't know if I mentioned, but everyone is completely stacked on health. Rey, we give a speed set as well, just because all we really care about here is getting her as much casts of Lifeblood off as possible, just to, keep the team set and comfortable. So we place the Lifeblood over on Vandor. So we're prepared already. There's a lot of AoE, so, we're not necessarily always going to be activating it here, but really just... Let's see, we have this as a Daze move, if we land it. Not necessarily wanting to activate B2 here. This is also a stun, but we don't have that much potency. His nuke is already off cooldown for a bit. I think either move would be fine here. It actually probably would be... Let's try to stun. There we go. Specifically stunning there because Magnagar is going to taunt soon. We kind of just want to make sure Han gets his turn off. Don't want to mess with anything else, really. A little bit of a waste of a Chewie assist there. It's completely fine, though. We'll just start shredding off some B1 stacks, just for good measure. We'll get stuck here for a while. We're going to avoid pressing this, just for the most part, just because we want to keep this inspired. More than likely, you're going to get it back, but, there's no real reason to take that risk. From here, so we have inspired on her. This Lifeblood should very likely just kill this Droideka outright. Because of that Poe unique, we're just getting a lot of benefits here. And because we're just constantly shuffling off Lifeblood to Vandor here, normally I would say to keep casting it on Chewie, because we'll give Inspired at the start of Rey's turn to whoever is healthiest. So you'll see Han hasn't taken a lot of heat. He's still got most of his purple protection, and the purple protection does count. So, Vandor was the first target, Han was the second. Chewie's been taking a lot of hits, so he's going to be pushed back in the order. But you'll notice that with these Vandor buffs, it's actually helping keep this team a lot healthier in the process. So it's a bit of a trade-off. So far, I've been really enjoying it. Yeah, just... I say why not? Okay, so we got Inspired going on Chewie last. Later waves, this could be an issue, but again, Vandor just helps add a lot of consistency here. Let's just potentially continue to do that, right? All right, there we go. There's the Inspired on Chewy. So we don't really need to spend the cooldown this turn, but you'll notice that immediately Chewy's assist damage is already going absolutely insane here. And as we'll show off in the next wave, hopefully, it only gets worse from there. This wave tends to be very freezy for whatever reason. It's just, you know, it help add some tension to what's otherwise a very comfortable wave. So here we go. One Grievous one-shot coming right up. And yeah, it's about as easy as you could get. And there we go. Easy 4 out of 4.